Hello again, Seafood John here, and I'm going to go with to continue the 5 element fist from Xingyi. We're going to do just the hand parts for here of Pao Quan. Do you want to explain what Pao Quan is, little Luna Aria? Do you want to explain Pao Quan? No? No, you don't? Okay, I will. Pao Quan, you might see that with like Chen style, could mean like cannon fist. In this instance, it's referring to pounding. So you can even think of it like if you use the cannons, the cannon fire will pound the walls of a city or something like that. But it is linked with the element of fire, and fire is linked with the organ of the heart. So Pao Chuan would be pounding fist, fire, and heart for those associations. This okay. Um, these last two, Pao Chuan and Hung Chuan, actually they still have that shuffling, warm walking, sort of slide through stepping that we talked about, especially with Bung Chuan, a little bit with Zhuan Chuan as well, but it goes on angles. So you step straight first, and then when you step through, you're stepping through on an angle. I'll make a separate video for that, and then put it all together so we've got maybe 5 videos left, or unless I can combine stuff for this kind of little series. But for Pao Chuan, again, it's going back to kind of both hands kind of working in a everything in together. Now, one of the things there's two kind of things I want to try and discourage, for lack of a better word, on this. One main thing I kind of want to discourage is getting the shoulder involved and having that elbow come out too much. I want to discourage that, but I also want to discourage like a sort of just a throw out punch with it. It's not. What it happens is you pull in, you lift, turn over, and punch. And this is going to be about heart height. So, Bong Chuan, which helps the liver, was about liver solar plexus height. The punching part of Pao Chuan is heart, is working the heart, so we're going to be about heart height. That upper hand, now I've made videos about this before, about the importance of being able to maneuver the arm coming up with like the hand above the head correctly in internals. You just don't, it's not like upper block thing with that. You've got to rotate the forearm. The radius and the ulna have to rotate. So you lift the hand and rotate. So if you look at my palm, see how it turns over? It's turning up where the palm is pushing up. So I still have like that, pungjing, that ward off sort of energy with my head here and coming up and being supportive. This would be like Fair Maiden or Jade Maiden or Fair Lady or Maid Lady works at shuttles in Yang style. One of them has that in Sun style as well. The fourth one of that has it. And there is even little bits of that in Chen as well, but it's specifically, what I'm used to is more from Yang. Same thing, rotate. We do like the each one, the upper ones, rotate, or even here. It's still with the rotation of the forearm and not the elbow lifting and not that shoulder getting engaged. You come up like this and you bring that, especially that, the anterior, really starts pumping out and separating this out. We don't want this separated out. We don't want the tension in with the deltoids out with that. We want to rotate the arm and keep that inflated sort of energy with the arm and protecting the head. So if there is, and I've done this in class, I'm a little guy basically, so I had some of the other people just kind of crank, and you kind of can hold this up. And you can hold this up much better than if you're up here. Because if you're up here, all that other person's force coming down on you is getting into the elbows and in with the shoulders. You have this wrapped in with the arms wrapped down correctly, and then you can start pushing that out and redirecting it through the legs. Now, again, just like I've said in terms of standing, with the alignments with standing, it's not going to be some magic sort of thing where now you'll be able to hold this forever, and there's not going to be any sort of, oh, I'm starting to burn a little bit in there. You're always going to have that because you are engaging the muscle. But using the whole body as one complete thing is going to make it much more efficient, much more effective. You'll be able to deliver power as opposed to force. Force is, it's just mass and velocity. Power is that whole body working together as one thing, all coming out at one time. And it's much more of a ha than just force. So there's two aspects with Pao Quan. There's the pulling in and the coming out. So what we're doing is we come in, we pull in. So there's almost like you grab and pull. And I'm pulling in to where the hammer fist part of my hand is meeting right here at my dantian. So here's my navel. So the navel's here, dantian 2 inches below. It's kind of a belt line sort of thing. Kind of see the belt line with that a little bit. Pull it in, but not as like full mudra. You pull in here, so it's in with the stepping. So and I'll show that as we go on. But there's stepping with it too, and you pull in, and it's not just like there's a with it. So if you have someone, I think if you've got like Swaija or Judo, you got the belt. You can, there's that even with Swaija where it's like a bumping. You can kind of pull in and then turn. Or you can kind of bump and lift and turn and everything like that. But there's like a pull. So you want to pull and pull. And again, you're pulling in, but you're going to be stepping into it as well. We're just going to be with the hands, but think about that as we're stepping into it. Like we had in Pichuan, where we come up, where I'm not retreating back, I'm stepping up to the thing and stepping through. This is the same thing. You're almost going to be stepping up to it. So we're going to pull in. Now we're going to do one hand at a time. So the one hand that's going to come up, it's going to be almost like a reverse punch. So the leg that leads, so in this case, this is my right side is here, sorry. My right side is here, so since my right leg is leading, my left hand's going to be punching. So you're going to have that reverse punch idea. So leg, hand. So you come up and out. But you see how this hand will come up. So as we pull in, the same hand as the leg you're stepping out with is going to lift. So I'm going to come up and lift. Almost like almost kind of like a Pichuan punch with it. But you see how, again, now the alignment with the hand here and the wrist. My hand looks disproportionately little. Like, I know I have little hands anyway, but it really looks disproportionately little. I'm built weird. So we have up. Now notice, elbows down. I still have that space between my body and my arm. The alignment through the hand, the wrist, and the elbow. So this can even still be a punch, or it can be like penetrating in. Someone's got their hands up here, something like that. This can come up and still penetrate in. So this can still come up against that other arm. And as you roll, their arm is moving out of the way as well, because it's, so if you got someone who's got guard up here, you come in, this coming up lifts their arm. As you rotate, they rotate as well. It's like those old razor commercials, the lift and cut. This lifts to cut sort of thing. Weird analogy, I know, but it makes sense to me. I just remember those old commercials where the one blade would come and lift the other one, and the other one like sickle it through. So we have that. So this hand comes up, elbow down, fist up, and again, rotate the forearm. Now watch, there is some movement with my elbow. It goes from in front of my body to 45. We don't want to come beyond that too much, because what's going to happen then is that deltoid starts raising. We don't want the deltoid to raise. We want everything to be working in together. Now look, still squishy, still nice and relaxed. Still nice and relaxed. tension lower. I'm still feeling it a little bit in here. Part of that's because I worked out a little bit, but part of that is you're still lifting your arm. You're still going to have to carry the weight of your body with it, and the longer you hold it up, the more tired and stuff it's going to get. It's just the way the muscle works, especially if you do other stuff too. You work, hands-on job, you work out, you do other stuff. Stuff's going to get fatigued. It's going to happen, but this is going to help it happen less. Going to make things work more efficiently and keep all the connective stuff together as well. Another thing this helps for, if you have shoulder problems. I used to have shoulder problems, especially in here. It actually would just like, oh, I'm going to dislocate now. It would just dislocate, like, oh, what's going on? And what happened is that I would, try and work out and keep muscle on there, because the muscle in there was kind of helping keep everything in place. And then when I was weightlifting, that was helping, but it would still click, it would still pop out. I'd, be working construction or at the bookstore or something like that, and something would be out or just be weird. And then that would start pinching a nerve, which would go into the neck. So I get a pinched nerve in my neck, migraines. It just, became this systemic thing. Now, what happened that really helped it more than anything else wasn't necessarily the lifting, it was the standing post posture, the Zanzhuang, because that helped teach me how to keep all this working together. It helped teach me how to keep the upper lighter and the lower heavier and support the upper body on the lower. And then therefore the lower body is helping to support the upper if you're doing something like push hands or wrestling or even coming in like infighting or something like that. So work both ways with it. And one of the things that helped teach, it used to be, if I was doing Twin Dragon Searches for Pearls in Yang style, you come in and do this. It used to be up, and my shoulder would go, kind of pop into place. Then I started noticing it was just with using my Dantian breathing and sort of inflating from the inside, using like the body pressures from the fluid in there to help come up in the body and bring that up and hold it up and then rotate or whatever I was doing with it. Then using that internal body to hold everything up was making it so that it wasn't slipping anymore. And over time, something I thought that was going to be a lifelong issue and problem, starting in my early mid-20s, now I'm almost 40. The only time I got a really problem with it is maybe I work out too hard, maybe I didn't stretch right, maybe I overstretch or just something like that. My shoulder's basically fine. And it was because of using these principles, like having to rotate the arm correctly and the internal principles, help get everything in there, hold together, and heal. So much like when I talk about, the alignment and, my back went out and I know my alignments were good and how important it is, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to play for like 6 to 9 months, because my whole leg was numb for months. So I know this stuff is helping with it, and I have these examples that I can point to, not out of a book, but from my own thing. So this is stuff like this, being able to directly feel that in either way kind of thing is important, and I'm bringing it from my own experience, not just because of one of these books that I read. It's basically what I'm saying with it. So elbow down, we'll do this side. Elbow down, fist up, rotate. So we're taking the heart of the fist where the thumb is, which is facing up and slightly back because I'm at an angle, and I'm rotating 45. So I go from, up and down to 45. That's all that rotation is. The other one is a vertical punch. The other hand comes out. Vertical punch, right from, it comes up to right about, chest height, and punch out. I think I lost weight. Seeing more stuff in my arms. So it comes out. And notice too, like, as a side note, I kind of, you might see some, stuff again. Stuff's activating because you're moving, you're squeezing, but it's very different than you're seeing the guys. Like it's some white guy in California, He does Tai Chi videos, and he's all like ripped and oiled up. He's playing Tai Chi. He's like, ugh, and you see like all the muscle and the thing ripping. Well, you don't want that. It's whole body. You might see a little bit of a, if you watch the arm, that, and that kind of comes from that relax, 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 that sort of fudging sort of thing. There's that moment before impact where you're nice and relaxed, and then compress and then release through. But it's not going to be like Tai Chi. I'm stuck with this quarantine stuff. I've seen a lot of videos, and there's been some, oh, that's really cool, I like that, and a lot of stuff I've seen. So as a side note, again, watch, making sure you're staying relaxed with this. And yeah, there might be a little bit of, depending upon how you learn how to, fudging or some of these other things, you might see in an arm like that kind of go with it, but it's different than this. So there is a difference with that. So we come up, we pull in, lift, rotate, punch. We pull in, lift, rotate, punch. And pull in, lift, rotate, and punch. And pull in, lift, rotate, and punch. So that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's the kind of pattern for just the hands and the arms for Pao Quan. All right? See you soon for finishing up the next couple of these. Thanks. Bye. That's not like a phone call.